Let's see how badly my mechs are damaged now. So, I need to actually get some autocannon 5s now that I am going to be losing them on missions. That's an expensive fix. 49, 50k, that's not too bad. And the commando is in pretty good shape. So after all that, my funds are down to 3,152,000. What were my funds before I did that mission? Let's do a save.
Game. Game. Save.
Okay. I want to do a little load to see something here.
Game. Loading. Accessing finances.
So I did make a couple 100k, but man, it is expensive being a Mechwarrior, that's for sure. Alright. Let's load back.
Select game. Loading.
Okay, now I need to see if that story campaign is still there. I believe it is.
Connecting to Comstar contract database.
I don't think... I think if I try to do this one, then I can't do the story campaign. This one, I have to take this one now or I lose it, I believe. So... You can actually see the screen now, what it wasn't showing before? I don't know, man. I probably need a little bit more ammo here for the old autocannon 5. Yeah, what? Okay, so... This is just talking about the mission I'm about to go on. So we're headed to Proserpina. Okay. Alright, here we go. Your on-planet contact will be one of our scouts. Call sign Red Eagle. He will meet you at Nav Alpha, then escort you to our Crystal Desert base. We must keep the base's location secure, but it is in the region of Nav Gamma. Your drop zone is in the Crystal Desert, which is filled with metallic crystals, which will appear on your radar as enemy contacts. You will be forced to rely heavily on visual sensors. Okay. The 1st Amphibian Light Assault. Codename Phoenix Down. Make contact with Rebel Scout Red Eagle at Nav Alpha. Return with the scout to the Rebel base located near Nav Gamma.
The crystal desert is filled with metallic crystals that reflect on your radar, showing up as enemy targets. We believe that the friendly Rebel base is here, near Nav Gamma.
Okay, so... I remember this mission. This has all those crystals that show up as, like, enemies. So it's difficult to just cycle through all the enemies and find, you know, the actual enemies instead of just crystals. Okay, everyone's ready to go, so we'll do a save before we start the mission.
Select game. Game save.
And then we will launch.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
LZ is under heavy fire. Lift off! Lift off!
Alright. There's an enemy.
It's going down.
Okay. Alright, there's an enemy.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
Alright, you can help me with this one now.
It's going down.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
Alright, we gotta go to Nav Alpha. So let's start heading there. Good old Mechwarrior, that's for sure. So I start with 60 shots with my AC-5, because I have 3 tons of ammo.
Raider 1, this is your rebel contact. Nav Alpha is guarded. Go to Nav Beta. Repeat, go to Nav Beta.
He wants me at Nav Beta now. Okay, so I remember if I keep going to Nav Alpha, I end up having to fight a very, very powerful mech that I don't want to deal with right now. An Awesome is called, and it's just really powerful, so I don't want to go to Nav Alpha.
Raider 1, you made it. Our base is under attack at Nav Gamma. Come on.
Nav Gamma. Okay.
It's going down.
Javelin.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
All right, help me with this one now.
Going down.
Wilkes is amazing. Such a good pilot. I think he's running.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Raider 1, the Rebel command staff is going to make a run for it in a hover truck. Cover us. Base out.
Yes!
Nav Delta. Okay. There we go.
It's going down.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
I think that was the last mech on this mission. Alright, where's that nav point? Escape to Nav Delta, right? Looks like I've done all the missions. I just have to get to Nav Delta.
Nav Delta reached. Mission successful.
Nice. Cash bounty for 5 confirmed kills. Not bad, not bad. You made it just in time. Your team will be taking orders from me for the rest of your time here on Proserpina. I don't know what you're used to, but out here we're pretty informal. You won't be getting your orders signed and sealed. You'll just be listening to me. Thanks to you, anything the Draconis troops gained from their surprise attack was taken back, and you saved thousands of our soldiers. You've already become local heroes. Now just keep it up. We're paying top dollar for you, and we aim to get our money's worth. By the way, did you hear about the bounty? Tyson Michaels, the Draconis Commander, put out a 100,000 C-bill price on your head today. It means you'll have to watch your back around some of these animals, especially with all the spies, but it's a compliment. Hell, I'm running this show, and they're only offering 75,000 C-bills for me. Nice. 5 confirmed kills. That's good money. 525,000. Yeah, my balance is going up. Alright. Aftermath. Draconis High Command is claiming victory over Proserpina's rebels after a fierce battle waged today in the Crystal Desert. While media sources were unable to track the battle from orbital satellites, reliable sources report that less than 50% of the Draconis strike force returned to base. Wow, that's pretty bad. The battle lasted less than 20 minutes, but 2 conspicuous smoke columns hung over the desert for hours afterwards. Captain Marshall Phillips of the merchant jump ship Star Sparrow reported to the Daily News that she observed several dropships of unknown origin descending to the planet's surface hours before the battle. Phillips stated that the dropships approached in combat formation. Rebel sources also claim triumph, having lost 2 tanks but reporting 4 Draconis mechs destroyed. While Rebel media contacts have been unreliable in the past, the presence of several Draconis salvage teams in the Crystal Desert partially supports the Rebel story. We at the Daily News wish to take this opportunity to assure the good citizens of Proserpina that however the winds of war may blow toward our Draconis Combine overseers or the rebels who now challenge their supremacy, this paper will remain an unbiased, reliable source of information. In the weeks and months ahead, the Proserpina Daily News will continue to tell you the facts as we discover them without bias. Okay, we got a repair. Let's see here. $10,000. 3,000. Daniel Wilkes might be a better pilot than me. Okay. All right. Here is our chance to get a little revenge. During the Freedom Marches last summer, a DC commander called Varus ordered mechs to fire on a peaceful crowd. Last summer. Let's see, where was I last summer? I think I was on Galadon 5. And you know what? I think I remember that scene. I think I remember that guy with those heavy machine guns firing on that crowd in Washkatan. That's got to be what they're talking about, right? See? I told you. Remember earlier in the stream, I told you, remember that text there. So apparently the guy that they're talking about on this mission is the one who machine gunned that riot in Washkatan last summer when we were on that other story mission. And his name is Commander Varus. So, anyway, that's interesting. Looks like he massacred hundreds of civilians. He's inspecting a fire base at Nav Point Iota. One of our recon squads has been stationed in the cliffs above you to keep a lookout. You'll start out hidden in a cave, and then move in for the kill when you spot Varus. This one means a lot. Don't let us down. Okay. I'm called Raider 1. Travel to Nav Iota. Avoiding patrols. Destroy the fire base. Find Shosaw Varus by inspecting buildings and mechs. Once you have found him, kill Varus.
Your target, Commander Varus, believed to pilot a Vindicator. He could be located in either firebase on the Salt Flats.
Okay. 2 weeks into the mission and we're no closer to victory. November 6th is coming fast, and I don't see how can possibly... I don't see how can possibly hold out against the elite Amphigean light assault. Ammunition is already running short, and so is food. I seem to be getting a full ration, but I've seen whole platoons living on half rations for days. Water is also becoming a problem. I've been running water raids into Draconis territory, but we're still thirsty. All over Proserpina, people are saying that the FedCom is backing the mutineers, but we aren't seeing any supplies, just more DC propaganda. I've finally been given a combat mission against the Combine, but I don't really like being used as a weapon against just one man. They've told me how brutal Shosaw Varys was at the Freedom Marches, but riot duty is dangerous and ugly work. Varys was probably just doing his job. Anyway, war is political, not personal. You know what's interesting? Is that my character hasn't even made the connection that I have as a player. That the riot duty happened on Galadin 5, and my character saw it happen, and he's never seen so much blood. But I guess he didn't know that the guy who actually shot those people was named Commander Varys. So, interesting. Anyway, I think we're ready to go. I remember how to do this mission. It's tricky. I remember the trick is don't destroy the fire bases right away.
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Raider 1, enemy patrol approaching. Stay in the cave until they pass.
A Trebucket, Centurion. I don't want to fight those two guys if I can help it.
Thermal optics engaged.
Those guys are a little bit tough for me. I love this song, though. It's just one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack.
You're all clear, Raider 1. Move out, and good luck.
Alright, let's get out of this cave. Alright, so there's a couple of low-level mechs and some turrets we're going to have to take out. That's going to be step one. Step one is take out the mechs that are walking around. Not those two that just passed us. Not the Centurion and the Trebucket, or Trebuchet. Okay, let's see here. There's a turret, I think it's right there. Okay.
Enemy target destroyed.
Alright, the Vindicator is Varys. There's a Javelin over there. Panther, okay, we gotta take that out.
It's going down.
Alright, let's focus the Panther now. Turn around. how fancy the AI likes to get.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
Alright. Now let's take out the javelin.
It's going down.
Crap.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
Okay, I think I want to take the turrets out now. So Varus doesn't attack unless you identify him.
Enemy target destroyed.
Okay, now I want to go to the other fire base and take out all the turrets there. I think there's 3 more. So this is Nav Iota. Let's go to Nav Kappa. Take out the turrets there because I get, you know, money for taking them out. And I can already see them from here. I guess we'll probably take that one first. Or is this one closer? This one's a little closer. So we'll take this one out.
Enemy target destroyed.
Trying to save the AC5 ammo for when I actually fight Varus.
Enemy target destroyed.
Okay, 2 more targets. Looks like it.
Enemy target destroyed.
Okay, One more target. I'm getting bounty for every one of these targets. It's like killing a mech, basically, as far as the bounties are concerned.
Enemy target destroyed.
Okay. So, I need to destroy the listening posts. But if I do that, then those other scouts...
Critical hit. Armed.
What? What the fuck just happened? Why are you coming up to me like that? My own friend is destroying me.
Nav Kappa
Okay.
reached.
Let me back up a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna destroy most of the base, except for one building. We're gonna leave that antenna. What are you doing? Okay. If I destroy a fire base completely, then that scouting party comes back. I don't want that. They're too powerful. So let's go take out Commander Varus. That's the next step. Okay.
It's going down.
Identify him. That's Varus. I lost my autocannon again. Damn it. He's taking out my arms. No.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yes!
Okay, now let's destroy everything except one building in this fire base. I guess we'll leave the antenna.
Nav Iota reached.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is destroy the 2 antennas and then run like Forrest Gump to the exit nav point, because the enemies are going to... That patrol with the Centurion and the Trebuchet are going to come back as soon as one of the fire bases is totally destroyed. So I don't want to fight them. I just want to take out the antennas and run. Okay, need to get to the other base now without crashing into my friend. Okay, good. Alright, now we get out of here. Escape to Nav Lambda. So that Centurion and Trebuchet are on their way, so if I can just get to Nav Lambda, I'll be alright. Because I'm pretty badly hurt right now. I'm gonna have to move that autocannon to my torso. I keep losing it with it being in the arms. Keep losing my arms. But we should get a nice fat bonus because we destroyed all those turrets. They basically count as a mech, so for bounty.
Nav Lambda reached. Mission successful.
All objectives completed, including bonus. 9 confirmed kills. Very good, very good. Varus is dead. Do you hear that crowd roaring out there? You just gave them their first real victory. Do you know how hard it is to keep on fighting for your homeland, your people, without ever making any progress? I guess not. Anyway, I'm here to present you with the Badge of Freedom, our highest honor. I don't know if it means anything to you, but it does to us. The mechs you found hidden in those fire bases gave us some interesting information about the Draconis strategy. It looks like they were about to stage an attack on our base here, which we were sure they didn't know about. It may be that all of our bases have been compromised, depending on how deep the spies are and how well they're torturing POWs. But now that we know, if we move quickly, we'll be able to secure Proserpina and kick these worms off planet forever. Then you can head back to Outreach and we'll have our planet back. So I guess there was nothing salvaged. Total income, 475,000. Aftermath. Draconis military liaison announced today that Shosaw Varus, hero of several Draconis campaigns in the periphery, was killed during a rebel attack on the salt flats south of Proserpina capital. Varus, or the Butcher, is known to Proserpina citizenry as the commander who allegedly ordered Draconis mechs to fire on a crowd at last summer's Freedom Marches. 206 civilians were killed in that incident, which a Draconis Military Investigation Committee ruled a misunderstanding. Commander Tysaw Michaels issued an ultimatum today against the rebels, who are calling themselves the Free Proserpina Mutineers. Michaels stated, anyone operating against the Draconis governorship must surrender to Curitan or local authorities within 5 days. After that time, they will be considered enemies of the state and will be shot on sight. No more prisoners will be taken. An anonymous rebel source mocked Michael's ultimatum speech, pointing out that Draconis prisoners are almost always killed anyway. This speech, the source claims, proves only how desperate the Combine has become. And he warned that the Curitans may turn their anger on Proserpina's cities if the rebels continue to evade them. Such an act would be in direct violation of the Ares Conventions, which forbids urban warfare. Well, there was plenty of urban warfare in my previous campaign.